one of my biggest pet peeves as a naturopathic doctor in bodybuilding? How many digestive symptoms have become normalized in prep culture? Hi everyone, I'm Marietta. Welcome back to Bodybuilding Chart Notes. Today's chart note is another one of my mini-series on my bodybuilding pet peeves as a naturopathic doctor. Today's focusing on digestion. Subjective. To some extent, prep is inherently stressful on the body. You're underfueled, recovery capacity is lower, and yeah, digestion is often impacted to some degree. But there's a difference between, let's say, an expected adaptation and unnecessarily suffering through symptoms that should actually not be ignored. Objective. Let's get one thing straight. Digestion as a process requires resources. That intestinal lining is constantly regenerating, roughly every few days. And it's a very energy intensive process. So during prep, when the body's underfed, recovery is compromised, yeah, it makes sense that digestion may not function at full capacity. But again, that is not an excuse to completely ignore symptoms. So firstly, one symptom to kind of keep an eye on or look out for is that bowel movement frequency. And yeah, towards the end of prep, it's normal for bowel movements to decrease somewhat in frequency because yeah, food volume is lower, you're eating less food. But going from like one robust bowel movement daily, every day, 5 a.m. in the improvement season to now suddenly like one bowel movement maybe a week in prep, yeah, that's not normal. Secondly, stool consistency matters. Let's say like very hard sheep pebbly stools on one end and like diarrhea, watery stools on the other end, or alternating between constipation and diarrhea, they can all indicate digestive dysfunction and inflammation within the gut. And sadly, these symptoms are often just brushed off as just prep. Thirdly is bloating and abdominal distension. Yes, everyone's waist naturally expands somewhat after eating. That is normal. What's not normal is significant discomfort or feeling painfully distended or even consistently looking like several months pregnant at the end of the day. Those symptoms do deserve attention by a medical professional. Assessment. I think that one of the biggest problems in bodybuilding culture is how normalized digestive dysfunction has become. And while some symptoms may transiently occur during prep, they shouldn't be automatically dismissed or worse, worn as like a badge of honor. Plan. Moving forward, I'll continue to, yes, pay attention to my digestive symptoms early on and address them. Prioritize fiber, hydration, food quality, but especially adjusting food choices based on like tolerance and symptoms based on my body's individual preferences. And yeah, supporting digestion proactively throughout prep with things like glutamine or digestive enzymes, maybe even probiotics, depending on the need. Because digestion is fundamental to recovery and your nutrient absorption and just overall health as an athlete. Closing reflection. Just because something is common in prep culture does not mean it's normal. That's today's chart note. I'll see you in the next one.